really, if we're being honest, in a London derby that we're not too bothered about. Not too bothered about. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's time for the match preview, pre-game breakdown for West Ham versus Arsenal at the London Stadium tomorrow. 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday. It's a bank holiday, which makes it a little bit better though. Hope you're all well watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're here for the preview. I'm joined by a pair of Garys tonight. Firstly, Arsenal fan Gary, how are you?
Good, thank you. Yep.
Good. And normal Gary, how are you, mate? You right?
Normal Gary. I don't know what the collective noun is for a group of Garys, but I'm sure someone could think of something.
Yeah.
A gaggle of Garys, maybe.
A gaggle of Garys. There we go. Hope you're all well watching in the chat. Gary, West Ham Gary, we'll start with you. Obviously, coming off the back of Thursday night, I don't think anybody's particularly bothered about this game, are they?
I think not, and I think the result today for Wolves really helps us as well. The fact that they got ticked by Brighton means that they're 3 points behind us still, so basically a free hit tomorrow. So I'll be very, very surprised if we don't see the same team that played against Chelsea quite a week in lineup.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get into a predicted lineup a little bit later on, but I just think it's definitely going to play into Arsenal's hands because we've got. We're going to rest players. The players that are going to start, who played on Thursday, are going to be tired. And we overall have got one eye on the Europa League game on Thursday. So to be honest, it's a win-win for you, Gary, in terms of Arsenal. How are you feeling? I mean, it's a 2-horse race now for top four between you and Spurs. I think any points dropped is massive for each side.
I just feel these games that we've got to play before the Tottenham game are probably vital for Arsenal, that we can still, stay ahead of Tottenham come the game. It puts less pressure on us and more pressure on them, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Overall, it's been a very mixed season for Arsenal. How would you sum it up?
Well, after the start, which was, I mean, it was terrible. Just the start, and going from there and until the last the 3 games that we lost in concession just before the Chelsea and Man United wins, we were looking odds-on favourites to be in the Champions League places, but obviously went on those 3 bad games and then pulled off 2 good games against Chelsea and Man United. Now the ball's in our court. It's looking like a good season overall, really.
Yeah, but you have got some injuries as well. Partey out in midfield. You've got some key injuries, and you've got, your makeshift striker that's splitting opinions. Eddie and Nketiah are up front, so it's not a full strength Arsenal side, but it seems to be doing the job for you at the moment.
Yeah. I think it'd be good for Nketiah playing these last few games. If he's not going to be at Arsenal next season, then it might strengthen his chances of getting a good signing somewhere else.
Yeah, probably. But Gary, in terms of West Ham, changes has got to be the way tomorrow, just like we saw against Chelsea.
Yeah, I think the biggest changes, the only people that might play, maybe Souček, if he always plays, he'll play. The fact we've only got one centre-back, he might play Zuma. I hope he doesn't, but he might have to because Dawson's suspended. He could even play at least 8. I don't know what he's going to do tomorrow. I think you summed it up nicely at the start, Jake. No one's bothered. So I thought we were going to get absolutely hammered 8-0 or something. Then I don't think anyone was going to care too much. Other than that, I think it's going to be as many changes as was humanly possible ready for Thursday.
I think we're resigned to the fact is that us as fans have got our eyes on Thursday, and I think the players and David Moyes have as well, because of what we've seen the first time. Really, David Moyes has switched things up, and it was obvious the intent against Chelsea. The players did all right. Do you have more faith in if he feels that exact same 11 that he did against Chelsea? Have you got more faith in them than when you had last Sunday when that lineup came out?
Yeah, I have. I was quite pleasantly surprised how well they played, actually. I mean, we were very unlucky in the end that Dawson got sent off. I think if Dawson was on the field, that last goal wouldn't have gone in. We'd have got away with 0-0. He's obviously suspended for tomorrow, which means we've got one change definitely to make from that team. I really don't want him to play Zuma because I thought Zuma looked a bit tired at the end of the Frankfurt game on Thursday. and we need it for next Thursday. It's a much bigger game. So I personally would play Elise, but we'll see what he does. It'll be a huge game for Elise to come into for, but nobody would be bothered if he had a nightmare. So I think it's a good game for bringing him in.
West Ham, Gary, there's a bit of a crackle on your microphone. Could you just hop out and hop back in? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Cheers. Just while we let him do that, I think with Arsenal defensively, it's been a mixed season. You've brought in Ben White, Gary. He was laughed at, and Ramsdale in goal was laughed at, but they seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, they're doing all right. I think you'll see better at Ben White next season, because if he has a bit more better support with him. Gabriel started off the season pretty poor and has come on and has supported him a bit better. As for Ramsdale, he's been probably our best. If you count him as a defender, he's been our best. At the back lead, he leads from the back, and I think he's been part of the reason why we are where we are.
Yeah, I think so. He has shocked people and pulled off some fantastic saves this season. Gary, in terms of Gary West Ham, we know what Arsenal can do. They did at times rip us to pieces back in December, with Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Martinelli, whoever starts, we know it's going to be a difficult afternoon for our defence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Saka absolutely killed Masuaku on that December evening. I was watching it, my head was in my hands. I think it's just like take me back to the days of watching Chris Waddle torment George Paris many moons ago. So I like Arsenal going forward. They've got some very good players, as you said, Jake. Martinelli's good. I like Saka, Smith Rowe. I think the Miss Party. I think he's a very good player as well. I think that gives us a chance to centre midfield. I still think they're a little bit vulnerable at the back. I think certainly down the full-backs we can attack them. So I think defensively there's still work to do. I'm probably not as big a fan as you are, Gary, of Ramsdale. I think he's a bit of a show pony still sometimes. He needs to concentrate on his game a little bit. And then, but I think going forward, you're really exciting. I think if you bought some good players in the summer, I think you could push really hard for the top 4, top 3 next season.
Yeah, Martin Odegaard's been a great signing as well. I think most of the goals have come through him since he signed.
Yeah, he seemed to be, a bit of that creativity that Arsenal missed. Do you think in that kind of number 10 role?
Yep. Do you think West Ham have sort of will have half an eye on consolidating, making sure that they're in Europe next year because of being down at Frankfurt?
I think honestly, Gary, they won't be thinking at all about Europe. They're thinking about Thursday, and that's it. My personal view, they're just thinking about Thursday, because I think we've got a chance on Thursday. Wolves lost today, so even if we lose tomorrow, we still got a 3-point cushion. So it's really a free hit for us. So
yeah. I think that Wolves result today is massive for us because it means level on games, whatever it is, and we've got a game on them, pretty much 3 points on them. I think if we get Conference League and whatever happens in the Europa League, we've got to just go for it.
Especially with the amount of draws that Man United are getting this season as well.
Well, exactly.
Helps.
You never know what United are going to do. You never know what Wolves are going to do. We could end up finishing 6th. We don't know. United could just fall apart at the end, like they have done for most of this season. Anything could happen, but I think we've just got to focus on this Frankfurt game. And then if that doesn't happen, obviously everything's got to go back into the Premier League. But I think we're here in this European semi-final. I think it'll be foolish not to just concentrate on that, and that's why Gary, I think we will see that we will see many changes for West Ham tomorrow. A very rotated side, obviously, with this game sandwiched in between the 2 Frankfurt games. Happy Hammerat as well. Hope you are well. She's on her way to Duke's pub. Don't get too drunk. Hope you are well, though. Right then, let's do some predicted lineups then. Let's get on with it. Gary, right then, this is going to be a bit more interesting than it has been the last few weeks. In goal.
Is it me, Gary?
Oh, no, Gary West Ham. Oh, I can't hear Gary. Oh, is that me?
I don't think either of us is. I don't think he's speaking. Is he speaking?
Oh, Gary, we can't hear you. Go on, come back. Oh, hello. I've got no idea what's going on there. He's gone. Right. I'll tell you what we'll do instead. We'll do we will do the Arsenal predicted lineup. We're live, people. You know what's happening. Drop a like and subscribe. All that. 4-3-3 then for Arsenal. Gary, who have you got in goal?
Ramsdale, 100%.
I think that's pretty safe.
Unless he gets injured in the warm up, I think that's the only way Leno would get in the squad. To be honest.
Yeah. The two centre backs.
It would be Gabriel and White.
Yeah, I think so. Right back, will Tomiyasu be fit, do you think?
Well, he played 10, 15 minutes of the last game.
Yeah.
So whether he starts him, I don't know. It could. What are we looking at? Is it Suarez maybe?
Cedric, yeah, we'll go with Cedric. There he is. Left back.
Probably be same as the Man United and the
Tavares, yeah.
Tavares, I think he's kept faith in him, even though he's had his critics. But I think Arteta's kept faith in him and is trying to build a player. I think.
Yeah, the three in midfield then.
It'll be for me. I think it'll be Saka, obviously. No, not Saka. Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
And I think he'll play Odegaard.
So we'll go Smith Rowe, Xhaka in the middle of midfield as well.
Yeah, Xhaka and Odegaard.
Xhaka and Odegaard.
And then
your man on the left wing.
Left wing will probably be Martinelli.
Fair enough. Martinelli. Saka on the right.
Saka on the right, and I think it'll be Nketiah up front.
There we go. Gary, can we hear you now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Jake. Sorry, I couldn't hear you at all then.
Oh, and we couldn't hear you. There we go. Gary, just before we move on to the West Ham lineup, West Ham, Gary, one player that fears you from that lineup.
Saka. I mean, I thought he was, when we went to the game at the Emirates, Jake, I thought he was superb. I thought he was a really, really good player. He surprised me how good he was actually live. It's the first time I've really seen him live. And he's got everything. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, he is. He certainly is. Well, there we go. That's Gary's Arsenal lineup. Ramsdale, Tavares, White, Gabriel, Cedric, Xhaka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Nketiah, and Bukayo Saka. Right then, Gary, are you ready to start switching things up, David Moyes style?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Right then. So, are we sticking with Fabianski in goal?
I think Fab will come back in and goal. Yeah, I think he'll play. Five like he did at five at the back, maybe like he did at.
Oh, you're being difficult, Gary. I've got to change it now. Right, what formation are you going for?
I think he'll do a 5-2-3-1. Is that right? Yeah, 5-5-2, 5-2-3. Yeah.
Oh my lord. No, we'll go two. Oh.
That'll do.
That'll do. Yeah, that'll do. Two centre backs there, or three centre backs then.
Well, Cresswell on the left.
Yeah, where's the left? That's the left. Cresswell on the left.
Johnson on the right.
Let's spell Cresswell. Johnson on the right.
Now, what we talked about earlier, Jake, I really hope he doesn't play Zuma.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether we'll risk Elise or play Zuma. That's the big question mark. What do you think?
Let's see if they've got Elise on this system. They have. We'll put him in. Why not? Why not? The two in midfield.
I think he'll do the same as he did at Chelsea, which is Souček and Noble.
I agree. Yeah. And then we've got Royce up our sleeve if needs be. On the right.
Yeah. Have Soufal on the right back.
Soufal, right, yeah. And the left wing back.
Arthur Masuaku, I think, will come in there.
Ooh, hello. Left winger.
I think he'll probably play Pablo over there. He'll play Fornals there.
I think he will. On the right.
Vlasic, probably, maybe. I don't know.
Vlasic. And up front.
Either Ben Rama or Yarmolenko.
Which one?
Yarmolenko, I think.
Yarmolenko, I agree.
He could actually play Ben Rama instead of Fornals. I don't know. I thought Ben Rama was good on Thursday night, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Gary, Arsenal, Gary. When you look at that, is there one player you pick that you fear?
Personally, I quite like Fornals. I like the way he plays, but the one that I fear is probably Fabianski. If he has a storming game against us, because being an ex Arsenal player, he could stop us, scoring. So if he has a tremendous game, but because
he made
a
world-class penalty save against Jorginho.
Yeah.
Back pass, you mean? Not a penalty, Gary. That was a full back pass. Anyway, let's take some of your comments then. Happy Hammerite says, I bet Arsenal are feeling pretty confident for tomorrow. I wouldn't blame them, to be honest with you. I wouldn't blame them because I think we've all accepted that we're probably not going to win. Mandy says, hi everyone. Fabianski in goal, Johnson, LAC, Creswell back three, wing backs, Fredericks and Masuaku, Crown, Noble and Lanzini in the middle, Vlasic and Yarmolenko up top. There's going to be so many different adapted lineups because with the small squad we've got, there's actually plenty of things David Moyes could do to switch things up. We could play Frederick, Sufo, could play Crow, could play Areola. He could play Ben Rama or Vlasic and Lanzini. We've actually got quite a lot of options.
It'd be great to play Crow. I'd love to see Crow play.
He won't play Crow, Christ.
He won't. I'd love to see him play.
Well, we've seen him for about half hour this year. He's been here.
Yeah.
The Watford way, James. Hey, Jake. Bad result for us today. Yeah, I think that's a final nail in your coffin, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unlucky. Yeah, just the manner of the defeat at the end as well must have been gutting, mate. Is that 12 lost on the bounce at home at Vicarage Road?
11, and it's the only time it's ever done in the top league in the history of the English game.
That's not a nice stat to be on your shoulders as a football club, is it? But Gary, Arsenal, Gary, where do you think this game is won or lost?
In the midfield, I think. If we can stop your players getting any further forward, being as our defence is not the best, I think that's where we need to be stronger in the midfield.
Yeah. I think it's a winnable battle in midfield, West Ham, Gary, because it's because whoever we play in there, whether it's Souček or Noble, I mean, but if we do play Royce, which I hope we don't, I think we win this midfield battle.
Yeah, I think the game's won on the wings myself. I think if we can control Saka and Martinelli, and then somehow attack your fullbacks, I think that's where we can get some joy. I think Souček covers a lot of ground in centre midfield. Nobes is very experienced, so I'm not too concerned because I don't think Jack is as mobile as he used to be. So I think the biggest threat we've got is, like I said, going forward for you guys, Saka and Martinelli, Odegaard. You're very, very strong going forward, and we've got to find some way of cutting off the supply to the wings and the forward players.
Yeah, I think it's a very valid point. Probably the one thing I'd change from your lineup was I'd take out Sufo ready for first in. I'd put in Fredericks. I think we've got to start pretty much all the pace we've got in this game, especially out on them wings. Because if we have, if we do play wing backs, if we play a flat back four, I want to see Masuaku nowhere near it. But if we play a back five and we push them up as wing backs, I would prefer to see Fredericks and Masuaku because our two pace players. Because they'll probably have El Neni might start in midfield for Arsenal. Xhaka and El Neni, they've worked well in the last few weeks, but they haven't got all the pace in the world, and I think we can get at them.
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. Man said Brighton did do us a huge favour. Well, they did. That just leaves that 3-point boundary between us and Wolves now because they are creeping back up on us. Well, says Robert. Oh, he's got something to say, Robert. Sharky says Everton going down. It seems. Get in. Send them down. Send them toffees down. But let's move on. Any final thoughts before we move on to predictions? Arsenal, Gary, will start with you for the game.
No, I think we've sort of covered it. I think you're going to see. I think quite a lot of Arsenal possession and maybe. Yeah, West Ham trying to catch us on the break a bit, but Even though you are at home.
Yeah, oh, 100%. That's what we'll do. Maybe that is the game plan, West Ham, Gary, is that we're gonna set up with to defend and then have Frederiksen Masuaku with pace to break.
I think you could be right, Jake. I mean, it's very, very strange. This is Tottenham and Arsenal we played in the last month. We really couldn't care less about the result. And it's the first time I've ever supported West Ham that's happened. So it's a very odd situation we're in. I think you're right, Jake. I think we need to use our pace. It's a good point about Fredericks. I think that could be a good avenue for us to attack.
Yeah, hopefully so. And you know, when he's been called upon this season, he hasn't let us down. He's played well. He's had an injury in there, but he's played well when called upon. Anyway, let's go on to some predictions then. Arsenal, Gary, what's your prediction?
3-1 to us.
Who's going to score?
Who's going to score? I'd go for a couple for Nketiah and one for Martinelli.
Honestly, even if Nketiah scores one, I'll be embarrassed because I think he's Championship at best, and he's been lucky in the last few weeks. I think that Chelsea game, fair play. You've got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all about putting yourself in the right place at the right time because one of them was just a toe poke.
Yeah, certainly. Any optimism from the West Ham side, Gary?
Of course, Jake. Even after all I've said, I would never ever predict we're going to lose. So I think we'll get 2-1 victory with Souček and Mark Noble penalty because he needs to score his final goal at London Stadium because we've got Man City next week and that ain't going to happen if he can score against them. So he needs to score tomorrow.
Yeah. What as a final goal for West Ham, because Mark Noble will probably start tomorrow. I would love that. It's 16 days until his final home game. It'll be 15 tomorrow. That even if we lose 3-1, I would be so happy for Mark Noble. So happy. But anyway, Jack, hopes you are well. But let's play a bit of a percentage game before I give my prediction. What percentage for West Ham to win? West Ham, Gary, we'll start with you. What percentage for West Ham to win? Arsenal to win and a draw. What are we going for?
Realistically, I think it's probably about 20% West Ham win, 20% draw, 60% Arsenal.
I think that's fair. I'll go for 20% West Ham. I can't do the same as you, so I'm going 30% West Ham. Hang on, I got to do my maths here. 30% West Ham, 20% draw, 50% Arsenal. I'm going to go for Gary. Arsenal. What's the percentage chance for you that Arsenal win?
Whenever I do these sort of predictions, I get it wrong. That's why I don't put them in my bet in any of my money bets because it always backfires when you put Arsenal in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for something like around 45% chance for Arsenal to win, and then 25 for 25, and then for West Ham and 30 for the draw.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mine is going 20% West Ham, 40% draw, 40% Arsenal. I think that's fair. But anyway, Gary, any final thoughts for the game before we go?
No, nothing from my side. I just, like I said, I'm more focused on Thursday. I just hope we get away with no injuries tomorrow and we put on a good performance because I thought Chelsea, we played quite well. We're just unlucky to lose in the last minute. So let's hope we can get something out tomorrow. Let's
hope our B team do us proud once again, like they did in West London last week. My prediction is West Ham United 2, Arsenal 2. I think it'll be a bit of a defensive calamity for both sides, and it ends in a high-scoring draw. That's what I'm hoping for. Sharky, you're not going for a 1-0 Arsenal, surely. Sharky, you've got to be positive, man. Positivity. Anyway, I'll say a huge thank you for Gary for coming on tonight.
Pleasure, anytime, mate.
Thanks.
And Dawson will be on the beer. He's sitting back tomorrow in his nice mansion, having a beer, having a weekend off. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Official. Check out our channel sponsors, SIM Carver and Son, by clicking the link in the description down below. Very good, Mandy. And from me and that Gary, come on, you irons. We'll be back with a build-up show tomorrow from what time's the game? 4:30. So 3:30. 3:15, 3 o'clock-ish, something like that, for the match day build up and starting 11 breakdown tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much, members. There'll be a match day natter for you tomorrow. Thanks everyone, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.